Now you're probably going to ask one of two questions here. Either, why the hell are you doing Divine, or who the hell is Divine? I'm doing Divine today because, first of all, I've had a look online and I couldn't see any tutorials done on him, or specifically on him, which I was really quite surprised about. And also, because Halloween's coming up, and I've been thinking of, I've been doing sort of different costume looks recently, I just thought, I don't think many people would think of doing Divine as a Halloween look. And yeah, I just think it's something that's just a bit different, and because he was, I think fans of the cult underground film scene would quite like this look, and it's just something that's different. And if you decide to go as him for Halloween, I think you would stand out in the party. That's why I've decided to do Divine today, and I really hope you enjoy. Now this look is very, very trashy, but I'm afraid the foundation I'm using is quite classy. It's Estee Lauder Double Wear in Shell, this one is. Now Glenn Milstead, who was Divine's real name, was an American character actor, born in the mid-40s, so just after the war, and he was an only child and had a very privileged upbringing, and he described himself as being quite spoilt, whether that's because he was an only child or his parents were very well off. He was sort of introduced to a world where he could basically get what he wanted, and I think that character developed off into the character that he was on stage. Although he did clarify in many interviews that how he appeared on stage and on film was just a character, and that him and his private life and his on-screen life were very, very different. I'm just going to buff it into the skin using a Real Techniques buffing brush. Now Divine was adamant that even though he was recognised as the drag queen of the century, he didn't really see himself as being a drag queen. He would be adamant in interviews that he was just a character actor, and his character on stage and on screen was just a character. But people would often say, "Oh, but you dress like a woman," and he would often say, counteract that with, "No, I'm just playing a man who likes to dress in women's clothing." And then people say, "Oh, but how come you've changed your name to be a girl's name?" And he goes, "Well, I haven't really changed my name. You can call me Divine or you can call me Glenn. It's really up to you. His name doesn't really define your character." I have a Revlon concealer. I'm just going to use that to conceal where I need to. I'm going to take a little bit over my brows just to lighten them out slightly. So Divine was a very key character in the cult movie scene, particularly in the 70s. It spanned from the 60s, 70s and 80s, but I think his key roles were primarily in the 70s and 80s. I think his most famous and also his most controversial role was the role of Babs in John Waters' Pink Flamingos film, very controversial film. I haven't seen it yet, actually. I've seen bits of it. I'll get round to watching it one day, I'm sure. But it's not for the faint-hearted, that film, so just be wary. And he was also in the original Hairspray, which was his last film, because I believe he died about a year or so later from a heart attack. I'm just going to do a little bit of contouring. Got a Sleek contour kit, a Sigma contour brush. Don't be afraid to go wild with this. Don't be afraid to go wild with any part of this makeup. I'm just going to take the same contour shade down my nose. it comes to makeup looks, I don't tend to like copy a picture as such, and I particularly don't want to copy a direct picture of Divine because his makeup, he changed his makeup all the time. He never wore the exact same makeup every single day, but he kept to the same sort of style. So I'm going to keep to the same style, but I'm going to sort of use my own choice of colours, because I think as long as you keep to the same style, it will still resemble Divine. I'm going to begin with Typographic Eyeshadow by MAC. Now, these are now not your brows. This here is now going to be your lid space. Your brows are going to be here. Now Divine used his brow area and used that as a crease. And I think, because I've seen interviews of him being interviewed about being in drag, I think he did shave his eyebrows off. But I'm going to leave mine on because I can't be bothered to shave mine off. So, Typographic with a Crown Duo Fibre crease brush. I'm going to take this and across my brow. And then down just a little bit. And what we're going to do to make this look more like a lid crease rather than a brow, we're going to come down like an arch to make it sort of look more rounded rather than straight, which is what your brow would tend to do. You just come round. And also, if you can use the same colour that's similar to your brow, it will sort of hide the brow hairs. So if your brow hairs are quite light, you can use a lighter shade, doesn't really matter. I'm just doing this as like a sort of contour. I'm going to begin with a Barry M Dazzle Dust in number 44. It's like a gold. And I'm going to wet my brush to make kind of like a paste. And I'm going to stick this onto the lid. Next I think I'm going to move on to a purple by Barry M again. This one is number 90. And I'm going to put this in between the gold and the Typographic. Now Divine like to sometimes use purple and blue, in particular in his Pink Flamingos makeup. So I'm actually going to use both. Next I'm going to use this palette from Sleek called Divine. Why not? I'm going to use this colour here. This is from the Storm palette. This little rusty brown here. I'm going to put this into the inner corner of the eye. Now Divine almost had his eyeliner exactly the same way each time. Well, almost exactly. What he did, I'm going to start by lining my eye just as it is, and then I'm going to move on to that massive flick. What he did is he came up very, very almost perpendicular, and it's quite a big triangle. And then the line continued down and almost came down quite some way. Like that. Okay, now we're going to do Divine's signature eyebrows. Now, Divine had his eyebrows really, really high up, and I think what you want to avoid is when you normally concentrate, you can normally frown, and if you frown, it sort of makes your skin a little bit tight. So when you do relax, your eyebrows might go, woo, and you want your eyebrows to be very, very straight. So what you want to do is try and relax your face, your forehead as much as you can. Try not to frown. You want to start where your brow naturally begins, but come a bit higher. Obviously, Divine could work with this look because he had a massive forehead. If you do find it difficult to get your brows even here, what you can do is you just take some makeup brushes, and if you do your first one on, and then if you like take from the arch and then move across your face, and then that will be where your second arch is, and so if you just work with your natural brow shape, and like maybe do a little bit at a time, compare your brows as you do them. Hopefully that will help you to get them quite neat. Now just above the crease of my eye, which if you remember is now this bit, I'm going to take a blue. I'm going to do a light blue Berry M Dazzle Dust. And this is going to go just along my crease. And then in the highlight of my brow area, which of course is this part here, I'm going to take a silver Berry M dust. And this is going to go all in this area. Divine is one of those celebrities who I just wonder what would he, where would he be now if he was still alive? I mean, I think that about most celebrities who were taken too soon. I mean, if he was still alive, he'd be about well into his 60s now. But I often think that, particularly, I think iconic sort of out there celebrities who were taken from us during the prime of their fame. Like Kurt Cobain. I mean, would he still be making music now, or would what would Janis Joplin be? Would she be still doing music? She died. When she died, she was right in the middle of her fame. In fact, she died during the making of her album Pearl, which was unfinished. I mean, the song, I believe the song that's called Buried Alive in the Blues, which is an instrumental on that album, she was due to record her vocals for it on that day, but they unfortunately found her dead. So I just wonder what characters like Divine, sort of interesting characters, what would he be doing if he was still alive? I'm also going to take this silver, just in my crease, now my actual crease, here. Then I have a lighter blue. This is number 76, I think it is. I can't see a number. It's just a sky blue actually, so I'm going to pop this where the sort of blue meets the silver. Mascara, I'm going to use Bourjois the sort of twisty turny mascara, but I'm not going to turn it on, I'm just going to use the one as it is. And then I'm going to put on some falsies. I'm going to use these ones by Alia, evening wear ones, Ultra Glam Lashes, number 110. Just want to pop those on now. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I've had loads of fallout of the Dazzle Dust. You take a cotton swab and just, in circular motions and just dabbing, it just sort of, it will pick up stray bits of glitter. Now I'm going to use a Barry M number 15 Dazzle Dust, which is like a white, pearly white, and just with my finger, and where the highlight of my cheek is, I'm just going to take this down there. Now for blusher, and I'm using a Sleek blush. It's pink and it's called Flamingo. Why not? And obviously you want to keep the blush quite intense, as you do with most of this makeup. And then, no, I think I'm going to take the silver, sorry, I just decided, and take it into the highlight of my eye, just here. Yeah, because I just think the eye could be opened up a little bit further. Okay, now for the lips, what I'm going to do is take my concealer over my lips to blank them out, because there's a certain shape to Divine's lips that he liked to do. It was quite a weird shape, so I'm going to blank mine out and kind of start from the beginning. So you want a pencil of some sort. It can be really any colour you like, I think. As long as it's quite dark and will show up. I've got a Barry M lip liner number 7. Now I'm going to line the bottom bit of the lip first. And just go around the outside, that's all you want to do. What he did in the top lip is draw a line about here in the centre and then come out like that. And next you want to finish on a beauty spot. I think Divine has one about here. And there you have it. Thank you for watching my Divine Inspired tutorial. I know it's not really that wearable, but tough. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all soon. Bye everyone.